It's a market of spooky shopping.
We do a lot of weird stuff, the odd, the macabre.
Inside the body part buying business, you can find an eerie experience.
So my particular business, we do mostly human bones. This one came out of an estate sale.
There's social media posts, online stores.
We actually just got in 3 uncut real human skulls.
And lots of listings, getting your hands on human remains.
For a lot of people to collect a human skull, it's like a holy grail for them.
From what I understand, in certain circumstances, it's legal.
Recently, Enola resident Jeremy Pauly was charged, accused of buying $4,000 of stolen human remains from a woman in Arkansas through Facebook Messenger.
There was brains, there was livers, there was hearts, skulls, skin, human skin. It's the most bizarre case I've ever been associated with.
Police say they were stolen from a mortuary and shipped to Pennsylvania. As the property of the University of Arkansas, they were supposed to be cremated.
At its core, this case is a stolen property case.
Meaning simply having or buying the parts wasn't the problem.
I just think something needs to be done about this. I mean, what are you doing with body parts? I know what this guy was doing with them. I mean, he was making things out of them. He was drying the skin and making wallets and book covers.
There are some restrictions in place, including buying organs for transplants. But when it comes to the business of buying and selling body parts, it can be legal and legit.
It's all different state by state. So there's a couple of we call them no-no states: Tennessee, Georgia, Louisiana.
In Pennsylvania, there's no specific law that addresses the buying and selling of human remains.
More regulations, more legislation. I just don't think that kind of stuff should be able to be sold.
Lack of legislation doesn't necessarily make something ethical or moral.
Ethically speaking, experts say it comes down to consent.
Creepy, but I don't see anything wrong with that, as long as we all know what we're doing, and I, who am presumably the owner of those parts, freely allow somebody else to do that. Since after all, dead people can't consent, right? So the areas where the consent is possible may be so narrow that it's still better to just make it illegal.
The human remains that get bought and sold and that come from medical collections, by and large, when you look into the history of those collections and those remains, were not sourced ethically in the first place.
Jason Haack sells across the country and owns Bonez by Dezign. He says he gets his bones from estate sales and medical and educational organizations, selling them to collectors, educators, and students.
They cherish them. They really do give them a love and appreciation for what they are.
Do a lot of people sell these products through social media?
Oh yeah. You see it online all the time.
Many social media platforms like Facebook don't allow you to sell body parts, but even with those policies in place, it didn't take long for us to find posts that are.
If you look for it, if you look in the right places, you can find it.
A look at Pauly's Facebook page shows he was selling online. A spokesperson from Facebook says they recently removed his account. How do you know if the bones that you're sourcing came through a legal and ethical way?
They look like they've been dug up. They've probably been dug up. You really just got to have trusted sources.
As for those who want to discover the dead,
I think the way it's regulated now is completely fine as long as everybody's doing up and up. Keep an open mind. What a lot of us do in this community isn't for everyone.
in Dauphin County, Jessica Babb, CBS 21 News.